Have you ever come home from hanging out with someone and felt completely drained? Like all your energy was just sucked right out of you? It's not just in romantic relationships. It happens with friends, coworkers, or even casual acquaintances. You try to be agreeable, keeping the peace and trying to be a good person, but before you know it, you realize you're surrounded by people who chip away at your soul, disrespect your boundaries, and use you as their emotional dumping ground. When that happens, it's easy to spiral into self-doubt. You might lie awake at night, beating yourself up, wondering, where did I go wrong with my relationships? Or why do I always attract the wrong people? But today, the very first thing I want to tell you is this. It is not your fault. This isn't just bad luck, and it doesn't mean you are lacking in any way. It's actually driven by a very old pattern, hidden deep within the vast ocean of our subconscious mind. In psychology, there's a major focus on why we continually keep people around who hurt us. Rationally, of course, we want to meet someone who is warm, respects us, and brings us peace. But when a healthy person actually comes along, we mysteriously find them unattractive or think the relationship is boring, and we quietly distance ourselves. Conversely, we are intensely drawn to and give our all to the people who confuse us, make us anxious, and constantly force us to prove our worth. Why on earth do we do this? It's because our brain falsely believes that familiar misery is safer than unfamiliar happiness. The truth is, our brains don't really care about our happiness. The brain's absolute top priorities are survival and predictability. No matter how painful or damaging a situation is, if it has been repeated for so long that the brain can perfectly predict the pattern, the brain registers it as safe. If you had to walk on eggshells to earn love in your childhood or in past significant relationships, or if you grew up in an environment full of constant conflict, your subconscious sets anxiety and tension as your relationship baseline. So when you meet someone who treats you poorly, your logical mind is in pain, but your subconscious feels a bizarre sense of relief. I know this pattern. I know how to survive this familiar situation. On the flip side, when you meet someone stable who respects you as you are without dramatic mood swings, your brain hits the panic button because this calmness is alien. Terrified, wondering when the other shoe is going to drop, you can't tolerate that unfamiliar happiness and end up self-sabotaging or running away. It's exactly like wearing a pair of stiff, agonizingly tight shoes for a very long time. Your feet are blistered and bleeding, but you've worn them for so long that the pain just feels like a natural part of your body. When someone offers you a pair of plush, comfortable sneakers, your feet feel awkwardly empty, so you jam your bleeding feet right back into those old, painful shoes. You aren't failing to cut off toxic relationships because you're foolish. It's simply your wounded inner child desperately clinging to the only survival tactic they know, seeking comfort in familiar pain. Now it's time to give that inner child a tight hug and tell them they don't have to survive in such a painful way anymore. So are we doomed to be drained and hurt in this hamster wheel of familiar misery forever? Absolutely not. The first step to breaking this destructive cycle and protecting yourself starts with simply noticing your subconscious glitches. Step back and observe your own mind. I'm drawn to someone who makes me anxious again. I'm walking right back into that familiar pattern even though I know I'll get hurt. The moment you recognize it, the subconscious begins to lose its power over you. You must bravely face the fact that the reason you couldn't cut off the people who hurt you wasn't out of love, but because you were addicted to the familiar anxiety of the fear of abandonment. Once you break that vicious cycle, it's time to take a step toward inner growth. Ironically, the very first thing you must practice to build healthy relationships is enduring boredom. A healthy, safe relationship lacks intense stimulation at first. There's no dramatic dopamine rush from your emotions plummeting like a roller coaster and skyrocketing back up. There is just quietness. Not having to panic that they'll leave you if a text is delayed. There is a gentle calmness where you can express your honest feelings and they accept them as they are. Without getting defensive or sarcastic, this peacefulness might feel incredibly unfamiliar and unappealing at first. But that boredom is actually deep peace. It's the proof that genuine trust is filling the space where anxiety used to live. You need to train yourself not to run from this unfamiliar peace, but to fully embrace and enjoy it. Furthermore, to completely protect yourself from the emotional vampires who exploit your energy, you must build your own solid boundaries. People who repeat toxic relationship patterns tend to be overly empathetic, constantly crossing their own limits to accommodate others just to avoid conflict. It's time to drop the compulsion to always be the nice person. When someone makes an unreasonable demand or disrespects you, you must find the courage to be disliked and firmly say stop. The first time you set a boundary, your heart might drop, and a massive wave of guilt will wash over you. But that guilt isn't because you did something wrong. It's simply the healthy, natural growing pain you experience when you, someone who has lived their whole life for others, finally build the new emotional muscle to protect yourself. Once you start drawing firm lines, an amazing transformation happens. The people who used to manipulate you and drain your energy will naturally fall away because you are no longer an easy emotional prey for them. And in the empty spaces they leave behind, truly healthy, warm people who respect your no and honor your boundaries will begin to arrive. Breaking the chains of familiar misery forged by past wounds requires immense courage, but you are more than worthy of it. Don't give up on the practice of valuing yourself and willingly embracing an unfamiliar yet warm happiness. As your inner self grows stronger, the temperature of the world around you will undoubtedly grow warmer too. Tonight, give yourself a pat on the back and tell yourself you've done a great job getting this far. This has been Psychology Lemon.